All right, so I just finished watching the movie, and I'm still a little bit confused. When exactly does Evil die?
Evil dies tonight!
I'm sorry, one more time? I couldn't hear you.
Evil dies tonight!
You're gonna have to speak up just a little bit louder.
Evil dies tonight!
Oh, tonight. Thank you, I understand now.
Evil dies tonight!
Yeah, I heard you.
Evil dies tonight!
Loud and clear, I understand. You don't have to keep saying it.
Evil dies tonight!
We get it, you can go on and kill Michael Myers now.
Evil dies tonight!
All right, this isn't funny anymore. I'm getting very annoyed.
Evil dies tonight!
Guys, I heard you. We're done here.
Evil dies tonight!
Jesus Christ.
Evil dies tonight!
The love of God, stop!
Evil dies tonight!
All right, now that all that's settled, let's talk about Universal's latest 4K release of Halloween Kills. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken, here today to talk about Halloween Kills on 4K, the latest release from Universal, and I'm really, I don't know if excited is the right word, but I'm looking forward to talking to this one with you guys here today. But before I get into it, I want to ask, if you are not yet a subscriber of the Mid-Level Media channel, first off, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button for more great content. I do all kinds of stuff on this channel, mostly centered around the world of physical media, new 4K and Blu-ray reviews like this. I do the Physical Media Report where I update you on all the latest happenings of physical media every single Monday. I do Blu-ray out and about videos. I do thrifting vlogs, collection updates, live streams, just all kinds of Blu-ray 4K content on this channel every single day. So definitely hit that subscribe button if you like that kind of thing. Also, be sure to like this video, guys, and comment down below. Please comment down below. Did you pick up this latest release? Did you grab the slipcover? Did you grab that red steelbook that I really wasn't a huge fan of? What do you think about this movie? Is this a good sequel to Halloween 2018? Is this a good installment in the Halloween franchise as a whole? Let me know in that comment section below. And I'm definitely gonna be giving you guys my thoughts on this movie, gonna be giving you my thoughts on the 4K transfer. We're gonna talk about the audio a little bit, the special features, the packaging, all that good stuff. But as you guys know, I do like talking about the movie and giving you guys my thoughts about the film. As you could probably tell in the opening, I'm not necessarily the most positive or optimistic about this movie or the future of the Halloween franchise as a whole, to be honest. I'm a lifelong Halloween fan, have been since I was a kid. Love the first movie, love a lot of the sequels really, but it really started to show some cracks when we got the Resurrection and then of course the Rob Zombie movies, which I like his sequel, but I absolutely hate Rob Zombie's Halloween. This movie is not to that level. I don't want anybody to get me wrong. I don't love this movie. I probably don't even like this movie, but it's not up to Rob Zombie's Halloween levels of hatred for me. So let's get into this film. And I don't want to bash on this movie. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm really not. I tried to give it another chance. I wasn't even sure if I was going to pick up the 4K release, but then, you know, so many people wanted me to pick it up, wanted me to talk about it. They said, you're a Halloween fan, Ken, you gotta buy the latest Halloween film. And you know what? Damn it, you're right. Halloween fan for life. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna buy every single, just like Star Wars. You know, I didn't like Rise of Skywalker, but I bought that when it came out. So I'm gonna buy every single Halloween film. I didn't want to miss out on this slipcover. It's a beautiful slipcover by Universal. I absolutely love it. So I bought Halloween Kills and I watched it again. I gave it another chance, and honestly, I just felt the same way that I did 4 months ago watching on Peacock, or 2 months ago, 3 months ago. How long has it been since this movie came out? I felt the exact same way. It's just, it's not a good continuation of this franchise to me. I don't really like a lot of the directions they're going with this story-wise, and it just feels like, you know, we were supposed to get like good Halloween movies again. That's why they were bringing it back. They're like, we're going to return to form. We're going to give you those old school Halloween nostalgic feels. And it just feels pointless. It's like, why bring it back if you're going to give us the same old garbage sequels that we've gotten in the past? This to me is like on the same level as like Resurrection, Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween 5. Those are some sequels that people usually look down upon. I would put that in this camp, to be honest. So, but I'm going to try to be positive. I really tried to, when I watched this, focus more on the positives, focus more on things that I liked about it. But I couldn't ignore the stuff that I did. And so we're definitely going to talk about that too. But positives, guys, I absolutely love the way that this movie opens. I love the flashback, how they go back to 1978. I thought they did an excellent job just like recapturing the aesthetic of that time period. Just the way that Michael looks, I think is awesome. Now, the one moment where he like absolutely like just speeds, goes into turbo mode and tackles that guy, that didn't really feel like Michael Myers to me, but everything else I love. I love Loomis. The fact that they got somebody like that was working on the crew on the set that looked like Loomis, and they put some makeup on him and stuff, some prosthetics. You know, they could have done the CGI thing that a lot of films like to do, like Tarkin from Rogue One. But they didn't. They used an actual guy that just looked like him. They put some prosthetics on it. I thought he looked great. Like, he didn't sound like Loomis, but that's understandable when you consider that he was a production set guy. I think he was like the head of construction or something like that. So the guy's not trained in acting. It makes sense he doesn't sound like Dr. Loomis. I think he did the best job that he could. But I love the way he looked. I love this whole sequence. I love how it starts, and they're paying homage to Halloween 2 even though Halloween 2 from 1981 doesn't exist in this universe, they're still paying homage to it by playing a lot of the familiar soundtracks and the beats and the score from the second Halloween. I love that. So I absolutely love the flashback sequence. When I was sitting at home watching this, when I first watched it on Peacock, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I love this. I love that they're going back and just explaining what happened in this alternate timeline. So flashback sequence, absolutely loved. Still loved it the second time I watched it. And guys, this is absolutely, James Jude Courtney is definitely one of the best Michael Myers we've ever had. Probably the best since the first one. I love him as Michael Myers. The kills in this movie, there's like 31 kills in this film, and I think there's some really great kills, probably some of the best in the franchise. I don't know if I would put it as the best movie with it. It definitely has the most kills, but I don't know if it has all my favorite kills in it. But it's definitely has some of the strongest kills of the franchise, probably since Halloween 2, really, from 1981, I think has the best kills of the franchise. And Halloween 2018 had some really good kills as well. So the kills are awesome. Michael's awesome. That whole sequence where he comes out of the burning house at the beginning, kills all the firefighters, that whole thing with the POV and all that stuff is super cool, super badass. Love Michael Myers in action, guys. And again, I hear a lot of people, they say, you know, turn your brain off, enjoy Michael Myers killing people and stuff like that. And I understand that. And I definitely knew what I was getting myself into with this. And that would have been fine if they just would have stuck to that. But the fact that they wanted to go a little bit over the top with this like super serious theme of the town's PTSD and all that stuff, you just tell they wanted to do more with it, but they couldn't do it. They just didn't have the strength in the storytelling, the dialogue, or the performances to really pull any of that off. So if it would have just been a film about Michael Myers killing people and stuff, like, I would have been fine with that. So I don't want anybody to get me wrong. It's not that I think that this movie is just dumb and just focuses too much on the kills and I wanted more depth with it. It's the fact that they tried to give us more depth and they just failed miserably. So I wish they wouldn't even have tried and just done a cool movie with Michael Myers killing people, because for the first 30 minutes of this film, I'm on board. I love the flashbacks. I love the introduction of Michael Myers and coming out of the fire. All that stuff is just super cool. And then we get to the 30-minute mark and it just goes downhill. But we'll get more into that in a second. The Lindsay, the car attack sequence by the park, by the playground and stuff with Lindsay Wallace getting away, running away from Michael Myers. All that stuff is cool. I love that sequence. Some really good kills in that with a knife in the eye and the girl running up on the car and the car door hits her and she shoots herself in the head. All that stuff is really good. I like that stuff. Killing Marianne from the first one, that was really brutal. The way he killed her, it's just, I love that whole sequence in the movie. It's probably behind the firefighter sequence, probably my favorite of the movie. The score, which is something I didn't love the first time. The score by John and Cody Carpenter is really excellent. It's phenomenal, actually. I might like it a little bit more than 2018. I used to love 2018. It doesn't have any of the flashier tracks like The Shape Hunts Allison. I think that's one of the best Halloween movie scores or soundtracks or musical tracks in the Halloween franchise, but it's a really good score. It's something I wasn't as high on last time, and I think it's because it's a little bit more subtle. It's a little bit more serious, a little slower, a little bit more ominous, I think, but I love the way it opens. I love the music. So the score is really strong, and it really grew on me from the first time that I watched it. So those are my positives. Those are the things that I really wanted to try to focus on and just get some enjoyment out of this film. But like I said, ultimately, I just kind of felt the exact same way I did the second time watching it as I did the first. All the problems were still there. And to be honest, and this brings down Halloween 2018 for me, because when I first saw that movie, it was kind of like how when I watched The Force Awakens, I was like, oh, Halloween's back. Like, this is Michael. This is awesome. But rewatching that movie now, every single time I've rewatched it, it goes down a little bit for me on my Halloween ranking. I would say after watching Kills, it goes down even more because I start to realize that a lot of the problems that I have with Kills really just carry over from 2018 and just kind of like multiply because Laurie Strode having that extreme PTSD in Halloween 2018 just from 3 of her friends dying, 2 of them she doesn't even see. It just doesn't make a lot of sense with me. It doesn't resonate with me. Now, if she had went through Halloween 2 and he was still her brother, that whole storyline was still in there, I could buy it because you got that blood connection. So you're always going to be thinking about it. It's always going to be on your mind. And, you know, I get it. You know, it's Laurie Strode. She went through a traumatic experience. I get it. But it's just not to that level. Like you're in your backyard shooting targets and stuff for 40 years. It doesn't feel like it should be like that. Like the Laurie Strode and H2O, honestly, was much more effective the way that they portrayed her PTSD in that one. And she went through Halloween 1 and 2 in that movie. So to go through just, you know, 3 of your friends dying, I know it's a big deal, it's traumatic or whatever, but it just doesn't track for me. And then in this one, you got to believe that not only Laurie Strode has this PTSD, but it's like the entire town that has it now. And, you know, in particular, you got Tommy Doyle, played by Anthony Michael Hall, who I learned in the special features is a friend of David Gordon Green. So obviously, that's why he got the role in this movie, which Anthony Michael Hall's been in some great films in the 80s. He was a great child actor. I love Weird Science, Breakfast Club, Vacation he was in. He was a great child actor. He's not so good as an adult. So in my opinion, he was a very poor Tommy Doyle, piss poor Tommy Doyle. I just could not buy anything that he starts the whole Evil Dies Tonight chant, which is so stupid.
Evil dies tonight!
It's so overused throughout the film. I had to use that as my opening. I won't get into it too much, but God, it's so stupid. And it's just, the fact that they repeat it just over and over again and make it into like a political chant throughout the film, it's just so heavy-handed and unnecessary. It's like, how does that get by people? Does anybody be like, hey guys, this is stupid, let's take this out? Like maybe they could say Evil Dies Tonight like twice or something, but do you have to say it 50,000 times throughout the film? It just takes everything away from it, and it just turns it into a big joke. And this movie, like I said, it's a joke, like it's stupid, and then at the same time it's trying to be super serious, you know, and the whole mental patient that they think is Michael Myers, and he jumps out, and the whole line from Sheriff Brack, we're turning into monsters now. It's all so stupid. It's all heavy-handed. It doesn't have anything to do with Halloween. It has no place in this movie. So I hate all that stuff. I'm trying to get into some other stuff. Like, why is everybody hanging out at the bar? Why are they still hanging out with Marion, the nurse from the first one? Like, why would Tommy Doyle and Lindsay Wallace I get they have the connection. That doesn't make any sense. You know, like I said, the whole town having PTSD from 3 people dying in 78, like whatever. It's really dumb. It's just so dumb. And why get rid of the sister angle? Like that really just, I don't know, it would have made, if they had the hospital thing happen in 81, like all this stuff would make just so much more sense. But disappointing story directions. It's not scary at all. There's nothing about this movie that's scary. I just don't like any of it. It's just, why bring this back if it's just the same old crappy, if it's just another crappy Halloween sequel? It just feels unnecessary. Do I think, now the ultimate question, do I think they can turn this around and ends? I do. I think that they can make some decisions, make some moves, really focus on that Laurie Strode, Michael Myers storyline, really flesh that out a little bit more, make it a little bit smaller, a little bit more condensed. And I think that they could turn it around with ends and really end on a strong note. Do I think that it will? I'm not so confident, but I think that they can if they really want to. But yeah, so for as an actual film, guys, I can't give this any higher than like a 2.5. It's right in the middle for me. It's not the worst Halloween film I've ever seen in my life, but it's definitely not the best, not by a long shot, just extremely mediocre. There's some things I really like about it, some things I don't. So there you go. That's my thoughts on the movie. Let's get into the actual technical specs of this movie. So this is a native 4K transfer. It's got HDR, it's got Dolby Vision. So the movie, the transfer looks excellent. It definitely looks better than when I watched it on Peacock. Peacock, it looked like shit, to be honest with you. So I noticed an extreme difference with this transfer. In particular, just some of those night sequences, like right at the end where they're all fighting in the streets and stuff, and Michael's swinging his knife around, and you see the blood just splatter, and the whiteness of his mask and the way it contrasts with the black in the background. The blood just, it looks so good with that HDR, just real bright red. Just a really crisp, good transfer. This entire film takes place at night, so you really notice those black levels, and across the board, the transfer looks absolutely fantastic. So no issues with that. Universal did a hell of a job with this transfer. So getting into the audio, you do have Dolby Atmos and Dolby HD 7.1. So I imagine people that have that setup are going to be extremely happy with this. I've read some really good reviews on the audio for this. Me, myself, I don't have that audio set up, but like I said, the score is phenomenal. Just some of those sounds where Michael's like, you really hear like every single stab that he does in this movie. You hear every single slash. Like I can imagine that stuff just sounds excellent with the Dolby Atmos on. So sound, from what I hear, is great, but I can't give you my personal experience with it. So getting into the special features, guys, this thing is actually pretty damn loaded with special features, some really cool special features. You got like a full in-depth like documentary on like kills and how they pulled all those off. It was really interesting. The one with the pipe kill with the older lady, like right in the beginning, they kind of go take you through the process of that and the details of that. That was really cool. I love the 1978 transformations. It's talking about how they recreated like 1978 Haddonfield, and they did it all inside, like in a stage inside a studio setting. It wasn't outside at all, and just how they kind of, you know, did the aesthetic of it and everything. I thought that was super interesting. They have a kill count on here. They talk about the social comment. They try to make this into a political social commentary thing. They're like, oh, well, you know, we didn't have these problems that we had, you know, with the Black Lives Matter. They actually bring that in here, which is really stupid. Why do you guys do that crap? But trying to compare Halloween Kills to actually really important social and political issues is just silly. But anyway, they do it. They say, well, we didn't have all these problems in 2019. And then, you know, in 2021, it's even more relevant now with everything going on in the world. It's silly. But anyway, that's a special feature. Like I said, you got a commentary with co-writer David Gordon Green, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Judy Greer. I didn't listen to that, but anyway, it's something like 9 special features. Let's get into this extended cut and talk about what's all in that, because I know a lot of you all are probably curious about the extended cut. So if you don't want to know anything about the extended cut, if you haven't watched it, then don't watch this part. I'm going to talk about it briefly, 30, 45 seconds. But pretty much all it is the original ending of Halloween Kills is Judy Greer gets killed, and then Laurie Strode picks up the phone. She can hear through the phone line Michael Myers breathing, and then it cuts off. In this one, she actually says something on the phone. She's like, hello, and then she's like, I'm coming for you, Michael. And then she picks up a knife and walks down the hallway of the hospital. So that's the extra scene. It's just Laurie Strode walking down a hallway with a knife, implying that that's where it's gonna pick up where this one left off in Halloween Ends, probably show her walk into the house. Or whatever. So that's the extended scene. Nothing much. It's like 2 extra minutes. So the packaging is really cool. I like the packaging. I don't love how they put the extended cut, like it makes the banner. So the Universal's banners are already so huge anyway, and then you put that down there. But it looks great next to my Halloween 2018 slipcover, so I love it. And then you got the back with all the specs and stuff like that. And you actually get disc art on the 4K disc, which I appreciate as well. So overall, guys, at the end of the day, I'm not a huge fan of this movie. I gave it another shot. I really did. Honestly, I was trying to focus more on positives this time, but I couldn't help but be overwhelmed with the negatives and just the things that I just really didn't like about it and thought were just super stupid. So anyway, this is my honest opinion. I always got to give you all my honest opinion. So I appreciate you guys watching. Do I recommend picking this up? You know, it's $27.96 right now on Amazon. If you're a fan of this movie, you watched it, you loved it, of course I would recommend picking this up. It's a really solid release. It looks great, sounds great, special features, a lot of special features in this. So would absolutely recommend picking this up. Now, if you're not a fan, if you watch this, not a fan of the movie itself, you know, maybe skip out on it, pick it up when it goes on sale or something. If you haven't seen it at all, I don't know. You guys just got to decide for yourself. You got to decide how big of a Halloween fan you are. So appreciate you guys watching. Please like this video, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications for all future videos, and make sure to leave your thoughts on the film Halloween Kills in the comment section below. And also let me know if you picked up that steelbook or the slipcover, and I'll see you next time.
Evil dies tonight!